Hey guys, Unclejona here, back with a Scottish beer review. The land of my mother's and half my father's too. And we're going to do a proper Scottish brewery. If you haven't, especially if you live in the UK and you haven't heard of these guys, if it will focus, come on, damn you. There we go, that should do the autofocus thingy. It's Harviestoun Brewery, or Harviestoun. And they always have a little mouse, and this guy's riding a sidecar. This one's called Raspy Engine. It's a raspberry stout, so we're going for those fruity stouts still. Smooth, chocolate and fruity. It's a 330 can, 5.3 on the ABV. I love it. I love their branding with this little dude. I'm sure he's got a name, but I don't know, Ken, what his name is, Old engine oil infused with raspberries. And if you didn't know, their stout is called Old Engine Oil, with a wee bit of sweetness, a few punnets of raspberries, a rich, sharp and fruity stout, etc., etc. Even tells you where the raspberries come from. And if you didn't know, Scotland is a renowned place, for raspberries. I've just seen it says have it at room temperature. Unfortunately, this bad boy has been in the fridges, so sorry about that, Harviestoun. But I'm not exactly sure when I got this one. It's not part. I had a look at the Beer 52 Scottish bundle. It is not part of that one. So yeah, God knows when I got this one. It's still in date, but when you, like I've said before, when you're dealing with fruit in beer, you have got to be so blooming careful. Otherwise, you get exploding things. If you have not seen the front page of my YouTube channel, have a look and you will see an exploding beer. Oh my God. Right. Decided to use a bigger glass tonight. Let's see what we get with this bad boy. I'm going to go for a reasonably aggressive pour, and we'll get it all in the glass for a change, which don't always manage to do. Actually, there you go. One of those, turn it that way a little bit. Got the money shot. Might even make it onto the front of this video. You will know. Well, I forced it. It's over a finger's head. Look, big, fluffy, just off-white head on this bad boy. And it looks jet black. Do my little test. There's a tiny bit of colour down there, but not much. Actually, not much at all. So this is proper black stuff. And not to be funny, but if the base beer is called Old Engine Oil, you know it's going to be black. Let me double check. My eyes are not very good at the moment. Doesn't really give too much away. No, it's not saying what's in it at all. Oh, lovely. Getting more coffee than raspberry, to be honest, but it's like a fruity coffee, and from the nose, some sort of sweetness there. But the head is fast disappearing. So we had better get into this. So cheers, boys, up in Alva, I believe, is the Harviestoun Brewery, which, if you know Scotland's just on the other side of the Forth, not the bridge, but the I don't know if it's a river or what would they call it. But you go over there, you go past St Mungo's, which is a famous church. Keep going on a little bit onto the main road, and it's up there. Really cool place. Very small, but cool. And you can get Harviestoun in quite a lot of places now. Oh, that is very nice. That is not too raspberry. That's nice. I thought it's going to be really, really sharp. It's not at all. The raspberry is there, but the main thing is the chocolate and the coffee kind of taste that comes through first. Yeah, it's definitely a coffee beer, roast coffee kind of thing. And then you get the little bit of sweetness and you get the raspberry, but it's very much on the back end. If you did a side by side between this one and the old, what's it called? Old engine oil, is it? Oh, yeah, old engine oil, I was right. I would be, you'd know it was different, but I don't think you'd be able to pick out that it was raspberries in there, to be honest. A bit smoother this time. It's definitely a dark coffee with some sugar in, but dark sugar, demerara kind of sugar. And then the fruits is there in the background, but you don't pick it up really until maybe 2 or 3 seconds after you've drunk your mouthful. Very nice. And at 5.3, not too shabby for a stout anyway, just a normal stout. It's not an imperial or anything along those lines. Chamon. And they've gone over to the Kingdom of Fife to get their raspberries and all that kind of stuff. If you want to see something really funny, look up Frankie Boyle when he's talking about the Kingdom of Fife. It's quite funny. And we are getting some tide marks, which is what happens to me when I get in the bath. And the bath water is very much that colour. But that is always nice to see in a beer, especially a dark beer, a porter or a stout. I love the fact that you can gauge how many mouthfuls you've had. That sounds really weird, but it's one of those things that makes someone that likes beer, an old beer reviewer like me, and I'm not that old, yeah, makes me very happy. And it gives me something to look at as well. I read an article the other day. I think I mentioned it in a beer review yesterday, I think, where people are talking about beer tasting is nothing to do with the eyes. It's only nose and mouth. Yeah, okay, the tasting part, but I really believe a good looking beer and things to look out for in a beer, and as a result of drinking beer, such as the lacing. Even though I'm not completely like a lacing expert, and I don't go on about it too much, but I know some people really do like it as a display of quality. I'm not sure if that's true, but I just like looking at it. I think something that affects your senses, so your eyes, your nose, your mouth, your taste, the way things feel. Some beers are a bit more thick, they have a bit more kind of matter, sometimes they have a bit of substance to them. So you could say that's the sense of feel through your tongue. So it's not only about your nose and your mouth. All of these things are connected together and connected to your brain. And that's what's being affected. And also, don't forget, it's got some alcohol in it too. So of course that's going to affect your brain as well as it gets absorbed into your system. He says, and today, for a change, I haven't actually had any beers yet. So this is my first beer. So I'm not langered for a change. Absolutely lovely, lovely beer. And if you look, yeah, there's that third line here, and look on the back side, you can see that stripe that's more vertical as opposed to on the front it's horizontal, because obviously when you drink, the beer comes back down into the glass that way, and you end up with a vertical line. You know how we roll. We do silly things on this channel, and it's all about sensory overload and the sensory pleasure that people can get from drinking beer, me being one of them. In my younger years, it was all about how much you could drink, and a couple of times in my life, one time I definitely know for sure, I had over 20 pints. 20 pints, not 20 beers. These days, when I have 20 beers, I'm drinking halves or thirds of a pint. But yeah, I think it was the final count was on my friend Jim's birthday, and we went out at midday, didn't come back home, I think, until 3 o'clock in the morning. So we're out for 13 hours, and we had 23 beers. Holy shit. These days, I can't get anywhere near 10 beers, or 10 pints, I should say. Pints, not just beers, pints. 20 pints, more than. 10 pints, you're getting there. But if you drink more than 20, Jesus, these days, I'm happy with one. One nice beer, and my night is absolutely lovely. It didn't help though, but that we were drinking quite piss weak beer a lot of the time, and we were drinking ales and bitters and stuff. Weren't drinking lagers. Yeah, I can more or less remember some of what happened on that day, and me having to carry him home. Yeah, that was an epic pub crawl, an absolute epic. And yeah, it was the 20. When was his birthday? The 28th of October, I believe, or the 25th. No, the other Jim's the 25th, 28th of October, and sometime in the 90s. 23 pints. Shame not like that these days. Anyway, hopefully I have entertained you somewhat. If I have, please keep the elder gods of YouTube happy, and subscribe. And even if you just click like to this video, that would help me out quite a lot. So please do so. And we'll see you real soon for more Scottishness on Unclejona's beer channel. So shalom to you all, and we'll see you real soon for more beer. Shalom.